All right, we're live. And look, Marco just joined us. Hey, everybody. This is Bradley Benner with Semantic Mastery. This is Masterclass Week 26, September 2nd, 2015. Almost everybody's here except Hernan. What's up, guys?
Hey everybody.
What's
Hey,
up?
how's it going?
Should we go down the list? Say hi, Adam.
Yep. Hey-o. Alright.
What's up, Chris?
Yeah.
And what's up, Marco?
Hey, man.
Somebody's got to take the lead on this and drive us, right? All right, we got a lot to get through, so let's just go ahead and jump right into it. Let me grab the screen. And I got some leads, and I got good news about the local case study. I got it monetized. Well, partially. I'll explain. But this is local case study week 12 review, which is fantastic. 12 weeks isn't bad. Okay? Monetized, baby. We'll talk about that in a minute. Maps and organic ranking, expense report, and what's next. Okay? So, monetized. What I did was if you guys remember from last week, which we had a short week last week because of technical difficulties, Google was being a brat. I ended up sending out to 10 people, and we went over this through the point of mail. If you guys remember, I showed you the dashboard for point of mail, and I showed you that I had taken the stats from the 10 most active respondents to the email. And what I mean by that, not respondents, but recipients, because I had sent out an email to about 60 contractors, if you guys remember. I had my VA do it, and he emailed each one of them one at a time. And out of that, 10 of them, 12 of them bounced back, which means they were like dead emails, okay? So, and then from the 48 that received them, there was 10 that showed a bunch of activity on the emails. They clicked a bunch of times, they forwarded. Some of that, I think, has to do with somebody's email client just reporting, like pinging or something, which showed activity, because some of it was real excessive, and I don't think that was actually that much activity. But still, there was 10 of them, and what I did was I took those 10, and I sent out a second email that I did myself. I should have had a VA do it, but I did it myself, and sent out a second email where it was a lot more personalized, well, a lot more specific about what the offer was. And out of those 10, there were about 4, well, there was 5 people that responded. One of them told me to take them off my email list, which it happens, right? But out of the other 4, I sent 2 personalized emails out to 2 of those. And out of one of those, I had a guy email me back specifically with his phone number and saying he'd like to know more information. So with a very, very, very small subset of emails, I was able to funnel it down, which is exactly what I showed you guys. Guys, I set up a funnel, a prospecting funnel for this. Didn't quite go as planned, but nothing ever does. You know, it never goes as easy as what we or sometimes it's easy, but it doesn't go as planned, and that's what happened here. Okay, I'd set up this prospecting funnel and everything, but nobody ended up entering any of the details on the funnel. But yet the apparatus was still in place. Okay, and then I started contacting, and then it was just more traditional back and forth with email. But I didn't really have to respond to any. I sent out a total of 3 emails, 3 separate emails, right? And that's it. And I ended up getting this guy on the phone yesterday, as a matter of fact, because I was tied up with all my other stuff, and I didn't respond to him until yesterday. And I called him in the morning because he sent me his phone number, and I got his voicemail message, and I just left him a message and said, hey, by the way, I told you guys last week that I had sent him a personalized video. Well, let me just show you. In fact, let me go into point of mail, and I'll show you the activity on that. Okay, so I had sent the guy a personal video that I'd cut because I opened up his email. I went to his website. So his website was the first screen or the first frame on the video, so that's what showed. And I sent him an email and told him, hey, look, this video below explains exactly what I've got, and I showed my website, you know, Gainesville Home Pros in the video, and I showed the different keywords it was ranking for, and how I could put his branding on the site if that's, you know, if we work out a deal, blah, blah, blah. It was a 10-minute video that I created specifically for the guy. Well, he never watched the video. So I put 10 minutes into it, but that's okay. I mean, I expected him to watch it, but he didn't. So if we click on this here, we'll see that links. Looks like, yeah, he didn't click on any of the links in the email. Okay? None of them. All right? But he did receive the email, and he did act on the email. All right? So my point was that He had sent me in that email his phone number, and that's the one that I replied to with the video email that he didn't click on the video. So I followed up with him yesterday. I could have followed up with him last week on Friday, which I said last week I was going to try to follow up by Friday, but I didn't get to it. So I called him yesterday morning, got him on or left him a voicemail message. Hey, this is Bradley Benner. I'm the guy that sent you that information about leads that I'm getting for remodeling services in Gainesville and Haymarket. I've got this website that's producing leads. I teach other people how to do this kind of work. I set this up for a case study. You guys, you can use this. You guys can use this too, okay? But this is what I said. I teach this. I set this up as a case study as I was teaching my students. Lo and behold, it ranked. It's now generating leads. I hate to let it go. I thought you'd be interested in these leads. Here's my phone number, my personal cell number. Call me back when you get this message. About lunchtime yesterday, or even probably a little bit after that, I get a call from this guy, and he, we had a conversation. It was a great conversation. It was an easy conversation, and here's why. Because all the barriers have been removed that you typically have when you're prospecting. Because the guy had seen, I'd sent him example leads. There was some correspondence via email, very little, but just enough to warm the guy up. I left him a personalized voicemail message. We had a good conversation. He's really interested in the leads. And I offered to direct the phone calls to him for 2 weeks, the leads that come in for absolutely no cost. And if he tells me that they're good leads, then we'll work out compensation for it. And he totally agreed. He said, look, if they're good leads, I'll be happy to give you money. And he volunteered this information, guys. This is why I said don't be scared to get people on the phone, because sometimes people open their big mouths and then you know what their budget is without even having to ask. Because one of the questions we get a lot from students is, well, how much do I charge for my services? Well, sometimes, guys, if you're asking the right questions, you'll know how much you can charge because they'll volunteer how much they're already paying. And this guy did that. He told me he's got a website that looks like it was created in 1997 on a GoDaddy platform, like it's an awful, ugly, horrid site. And he's paying a company $500 a month to maintain the website and also to do some lead gen for him with their own properties, but apparently he's not happy with them. And he told me he's paying $500 a month. So I said, well, look, I probably won't charge you that much. We can work out on a pay-per-call basis where you only pay for leads that, for actual phone calls that qualify. There's a couple ways we can qualify them. We can do a duration, like phone calls that go over a certain duration, or I can set up a call center because I do that already. I was honest with him. I told him I've got a lead gen business in the tree service industry, and that I just don't have any scripts set up for home remodeling services, but that I could make that happen if that's what he wants. So he could purchase them that way, or I could do just a flat fee. And I said, I might charge you $250 or $300 a month, something like that. And I said, remember, this keyword, you're not going to get 20 calls a week, but you might get 4, 5, 6 calls in a month. And all you need is one kitchen job to make a $30,000 job, and you've paid for the services for 5 years. You know what I mean? And he said, oh, no, absolutely, man. If I'm getting leads from this to turn into jobs, there's no question. I'll be happy to throw you some money, because if I'm making money, you should make money. The guy was a nice guy, And it was a really easy conversation. So I just wanted to explain to you guys what it is. So right now, I've actually got the phone number from Gainesville Home Pros forwarded to this guy. It's going directly to his cell. Okay, so it's not going through a call center or anything. And I explained to him that, if he misses the calls, it's going to be a lost lead opportunity. And then I'm only going to give them to him for about 2 weeks. And then I'll end up having the conversation with him about which way he wants to go for compensation, whether it's pay per call, pay per lead, call center, or flat rental. Okay, so I'm going to let that guy make that decision. But it was a really easy conversation, and I wanted to share that with you guys because I know sometimes you guys get scared, or not all of you, I'm just talking generally. People get scared with talking to contractors, and a lot of it has to do with confidence and not being sure of yourself. But when you already have a website ranking that's generating leads that you can prove it to the people, it makes the call go so much easier. Because now you have something that they want. You're not promising them something that they want down the road. Like when you go to prospect to do client work, guys, think about it. You talk to a prospect and you say, hey, listen, I can rank your site for you. It's going to take me 3 months to do it. Go ahead and pay me $500 or $1,000 a month while I work on your site, and I promise you I'll make it happen. Right? That's a hard sell. But when you already have leads coming in and you can show them, then now it's like, hey, look, I've got these leads coming in. That's exactly what I told the guy on the phone. I said, look, I'm getting phone calls coming in, and they're just going to voicemail right now, and I feel awful because they're valid leads. I just need somebody to take these off my hand. Oh, I could take them, man. I'm telling you, I'm a certified contractor, and I close about 50% of the leads when I go do proposals and blah blah blah. I mean, he's just volunteering all this information, guys. So it's a really easy conversation. So, anyways, let me just show you. This is CallFire. I'm going to show you the call records. And what I like about CallFire is you can block numbers when they're spam calls. So you can see right here. Take a look at this, guys. Like, there's some spam calls here. That's like the 602 area code. This is outside of my area, right? So this is probably a sales call. And so I can block these calls. And that's what I do with CallFire numbers, guys. I go in and monitor them about. Sometimes I don't do it like I should, and I'll go a month without looking at call records and blocking sales calls, because what you'll find with anytime you're doing lead gen, guys, you'll find that you will get sales calls and spam calls and recorded calls, like those, robo calls and stuff. And sometimes those calls will come in like a dozen times in 3 days from the same phone number, and it will eat up your bandwidth. You'll pay more money in phone fees and everything else, and it's a complete waste of your time and energy and your money. So what I do is I come in and I see, like this one right here, this was obviously a sales call or a robocall. So if I click on this drop down arrow and I click over here on details, you can see that I have it blocked. See how it says unblock? If it wasn't blocked, it would say block. So I blocked this so that that call won't come in anymore. Right? Now if somebody from this number tries to call the Gainesville Home Pros phone number, it's going to give them a busy signal. So that way I can screen out spam calls, right? But anyways, right here, 703-754-0472. 703 is a local area code. So is 571. So is 202, and also 540. So there's 4 local area codes for this area. 703 being one of them. That's a valid call. It went to voicemail. This guy actually left me a voicemail message. He said he needed some granite trimmed and cabinet trimmed for a new oven that he had installed, or that he was going to have installed. So it was a small job, but still, it was a job, and he actually left me a voicemail. This 202 number, this is a valid phone call from the same. They called twice. Look at the time. They called twice. Why did they call twice? Because it went to voicemail, right? If a live body had answered that phone, that would have probably been a valid lead. 202 is Washington, D.C. area code, but a lot of people that live in Gainesville commute to D.C., so that was probably a local call, a lead, right? This one right here, guys, look at this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This is a local number that called 7 times, and look at the times in which they called. 5:33, 5:32, 5:32. They called 7 times in 2 minutes. Why? Because they really wanted to talk to Gainesville Home Pros. They wanted an estimate for something. I don't know what the job was that they wanted, but they wanted a freaking estimate, and it went to voicemail, and they didn't want to leave a voicemail message, which happens. That's why I tell you guys, if you're going to be doing lead gen, you either need to set up your own call center to where the phone gets answered by a live person when it rings, or if you're directing the calls directly to a contractor, you need to make them aware of the fact that either they have to have a receptionist that answers the phone, or they have to answer the phone, and if they're not answering the phone, you're losing money. So I only recommend that you direct the calls directly to a contractor if you're doing on a flat rental fee, because they're going to miss a lot of calls, especially if they're working contractors, which happens most of the time. What I mean by that is contractors that are actually performing their job. You know what I mean? Like, if he's got his tool belt on and he's sawing wood and stuff like that, is he going to answer the phone? No, he's not. So he'd miss a phone call, and that would be a lost lead. So I don't recommend pay per lead or pay per call if you've got the phone directed directly to a contractor. Either have to have a receptionist or a call center. Okay? So anyways, I just wanted to show you guys. That's my that was a this looks like this was a sales call. You can see I blocked that one as well. Okay, because that's an out of area code. So I just block them. I don't even care anymore. That's just the way that I can keep my costs down on these phone calls. Okay. So anyways, guys, that was pretty much it. I just wanted to share with you. Like I said, I'm going to follow up with the guy in a couple weeks. I told him. Just to go back to this very quickly, you'll see that these 2 calls right here were. This one was 826, and this call was 828. Right. So these were 2 local calls in the last week. And so my point is over the next 2 weeks, maybe 3 weeks, I'll monitor this. And when I see several more local calls come in, or a couple more local calls come in, then I'll follow up with the guy. I'll give him a call back. I've got his direct cell number now. He's got mine. I told him if he had any questions in the meantime, he can call me. He's a nice guy. So, you know, it's like I'm not, you know, I know sometimes talking to people is a dread, especially us computer geeks, you know what I mean? But this was actually really easy. It was an easy conversation. And so in a couple weeks' time, I'll go back and I'll look and I'll say, okay, look, you got 3 more calls, and I'll give him a call and say, hey, you got 3 more calls. Were you able to set up any appointments? What'd you think of the leads? All right, let's talk about monetization. And then at that point, I told him, you know, I can go ahead and put your logo on the site. I've got no problem doing that. It's going to remain my phone number, but I could put your logo on the site. And then I've got the email form or the contact form that's on the homepage being directed to him as well. So guys, don't go spam that form because it's going to him too. So, all right. So hopefully you guys saw that, you know, it's really not hard to do this. I sent out 60 emails. 48 of them actually got delivered. 10 people interacted with the emails. I sent out 1 more additional email to those 10. Then 2 more people interacted with that email. And I corresponded or followed up with those 2, and I got somebody on the phone and got him now taking the leads. So I haven't figured out the monetization schedule with him yet because I'm going to give him a couple weeks to test it out, and then we'll have that conversation, and I'll share that with you guys when it's done. But very, very simple. It was a painless process. I spent more time setting up the prospecting funnel than I did in actually getting somebody to take the leads, which is kind of funny. All right. So that said, rank reports, Bright Local Maps report. Let me give you guys the link for that. A little bit of movement again. It's interesting because I'm still not ranking for some of the keywords in Gainesville right now, which, guys, it just happens. That's just part of the business now with the Pigeon update. So I'm not in the local 3-pack for some of the keywords. I am for basement remodeling and basement finishing. And then, but my videos are all doing fairly well. And then for home remodeling Gainesville, I'm in the 3-pack. And then you can see now that I'm also in the 3-pack for kitchen remodeling Haymarket, which is interesting because I still haven't done any Haymarket posts, guys. But yet the videos are ranking fairly well for that, and I've got like almost every one of those keywords have a video. Yeah, every one of those keywords have a video on page 1, and then I'm actually in the maps for kitchen remodeling Haymarket. Okay, so the ones that I lost bathroom and kitchen remodeling, but it'll come back. It's just a matter of time. Okay, so all right, we're gonna keep moving. What is next? Oh, okay, organic rankings. You can see there's a little bit of movement, a little bit of negative movement.
Before we take off, somebody had a good, Shannon had a good point, said just something to watch out for when you're blocking numbers, out-of-state cell phones. Many people move and don't change their cell number, and it looks like they're calling as a telemarketer. So.
Oh, yeah, I'm completely aware. But to be honest with you, and I don't want to take the like, if it was going to a call center, I don't care because the call center screens the calls, right?
Fair enough.
But in this case, it's going directly to the contractor, so I'm just blocking everything that's not a local area code. If I lose the lead, so what? Right now, I'm just trying to impress the guy so that he starts giving me money. You know what I mean?
Sure, and I think that's a good differentiation, too. If you were using some sort of screening process, then you wouldn't want to be doing that.
That's right.
Cool.
Well, even then, occasionally, even then, once you start, you'll know when it's a spam call or not, because if somebody calls like this, especially when it's stretched out over a couple days, like, look, this one was 84, 85, 810. So this guy called, this particular number called several times over a 4-day period. You know that's a spam call. Because if it's somebody looking for services, they're not going to stretch their calls out over 6 days multiple times because they're going to give up. You know what I mean?
Yep.
But a robocall's not going to give up, or a salesperson's not going to give up, so at least not so easy. So you'll be able to tell which ones are spam calls and which ones aren't.
All right, and just one quick distraction, you've got to look at the event page.
Oh, is this going to be a meme? I'm sure of it. I'm scared.
Well worth your time.
That's awesome, Wayne. Thanks, buddy. Where's Clint with his? He's not here. All right, let's keep moving. We're already 20 minutes in, guys, but I thought that was an important conversation for you guys to know how it went. You know, I think that's important. And just once again, it's all about, you know, I took the steps that I just had always taken in the past, setting up that funnel, would have been, it was great because it was a starting point, right? It got the momentum going, even though it didn't work out that way. I've got a prospecting funnel now in place that can be modified slightly for the next project and then reused. You know what I'm saying? So the fact that it's there is good, but it really came down to just good old traditional correspondence and got somebody on the phone. So, all right, curated posts. I needed to update that. Ended up being 12 posts at $9 a post. It was $108, and she's done. She did not do the post for Haymarket yet, but I told her not to worry about that for right now. I may later, but right now I'm pretty much going to wrap this one up. So what's next week? Follow up a contractor. Maybe. It may be my next week if there's another couple calls that come in between now and then. But remember, this isn't like a real high traffic keyword, guys. So this is like, I'll probably give the guy 2 or 3 weeks. And I'll just keep, every week I'll check the call fire records and see what's come through. And if he's had a couple good calls come through, then I'll follow up with him and say, hey, what do you think? Okay, we're going to set the terms of the agreement between him and I. Possibly set up a call center. That's most likely what we're going to do. Based on the conversation I had with him yesterday, he agrees that that would be a better option for him. So most likely that's what we're going to do. And then, I'll share that with you guys once it's done. It's not a top priority at the moment because he is receiving calls now. So, you know what I mean? It's just, I'm going to give it a few weeks and then I'll contact him back. That way we can focus on other stuff here in the masterclass over the next several weeks. And lastly, expand. I talked to the dude about it yesterday. If he likes the leads, there's always the potential to expand into additional areas. And I told him that yesterday. So I said, look, right now we got Gainesville and Haymarket. But we could go into, Manassas and Woodbridge and Centerville and like just expand outwards, guys. So, that's the possibility is that we can expand. So that was it. Do we have any questions specific to that? I think we're pretty light on questions today, correct?
Yeah, we're good to go.
Okay. All right, so let's move into the affiliate case study, week 7. Today we're going to talk about, guys, if you have any questions about this in the meantime, just go ahead and post them. Ad campaign review. Okay, last week because of the technical difficulties, by the way, we're not going 90 minutes today, guys. We're cutting this off at the normal time, and the reason why is because I followed, I think it was Frank Thomas's advice last week. The last thing that he posted on the page right as we were closing was, can you just do a training video separate for setup of the ad campaign? And so I did, and I'm going to post this link, Adam, if you could. That is, I set up that product review or that product specific ad campaign, and that's the video I did it over the shoulder, so you guys can watch that once we're done today if you want, or whatever. This will also be posted in the members area, okay, with this week's webinar, or maybe even last week's webinar because it was a short one. Okay, so we're going to go over some of the details for that. Some of the stats inside of AdWords, and then I'll show you some stuff inside of GetResponse, and then the product review ad, and I also did the product review email, which I sent out, and we'll go over that. Let's see what else is there. Okay, yeah, we got a couple things to talk about now. So let's jump over here for a minute. All right, so I've got a lot of stuff in here. Let me show you. I should have had that open. Okay, here is the product review. It's Eat That Frog. Okay, so that's what I set this campaign up, guys, in that video that Adam just dropped the link for. Okay, so this is what I'll also. What the hell? Somebody's calling me. Why is PayPal calling me? Well, they're gonna have to leave me a message. It's probably PayPal Pro. Anyway, sorry about that, guys. All right, so Eat That Frog. This is what I set up in that video, and if we take a look at let's go over here to targets. We'll go to placements, and the placements are 51 videos. I think I showed that to you guys in the spreadsheet when I had set up those, when I had actually grabbed the placement URLs. Here they call again. Okay, well, whatever. Okay, so you guys can see these were very, very targeted. We haven't, it looks like it's showing no conversions, but I don't believe that. I think maybe I've got the conversion tracking pixel set up wrong on this one, because I'll show you. I'm getting a lot of opt-ins, and I know I've got some other campaigns set up to that so that it's all going to the same list. But I think I'm getting some opt-ins for this, and I just got to go back and test my check on my conversion pixel because I'm not seeing it here. But you can see that I'm getting a high view rate, and a really high view rate. In fact, look at these percentages. That's really high for a pre-roll ad, and the reason why is because it's so targeted. Okay, and that's why I think my conversion tracking's off. My pixels, something's wrong with that, because otherwise I should be seeing some conversions, especially with a click-through rate, or I'm sorry, a view rate this high. You guys understand what I'm saying? So essentially, this video, where's the impressions? I'm not seeing the impressions here, but it got 66 views out of whatever the impressions were, and it showed 21%, or that's how many. 66 views is 21% of the impressions that it got. Does that make sense? So like if we go back, actually, let's see, maybe if it'll show here. No, we'll go back to the main screen. Okay, so that's this one here, guys. So look, this had 757 impressions in the last 7 days, and it had 143 views. That means out of the 757 times it was shown in front of a video, 143 times somebody watched it. Okay, and so my average cost per view was 9 cents. So in the last 7 days, it was I spent $13.11 in the last 7 days on ad traffic for that, and it's not showing any conversions. But again, I think I got the conversion tracking pixel wrong on that. All right, so you guys see that, and I just wanted to go over those details. Now we'll go back in here and take a look at this again. If we go back to targets, we go to placements. You'll see you can tell which videos it's getting the most traction on. So what we can do is once I need to get the conversion stuff fixed, because sometimes you'll get a lot of views, but you won't get any conversions, or you'll get few conversions, and then it might as well scale back on that, because there's no sense in spending money on a video that's it's not producing conversions or clicks. And I'm going to show you that just in a minute, based on the more general campaigns that I've got going on. We're going to dig into that a little bit in just a moment. But for the ones that are producing, you can always set up a separate campaign targeting that one specific video, because it's producing good conversions, and then increase your ad spend on that. So it's a separate campaign, specifically that one video. And so let me go back to the screen and I'll show you. There's a couple of them. I limited the budget way down for some of these. But for example, this one was a video. Let's go to this one, and this one's not performing all that well. I'll show you what I mean, but like, excuse me, this was the main, this campaign was what I set up for the general, that goes to the squeeze page for that PDF that I put together. This is not product specific. This has nothing to do with the Eat the Frog campaign that I set up, guys. This one is just a video targeting people that were searching keywords or videos online, specific videos online that talk about stopping procrastination or eliminating procrastination, how to stop procrastination, that sort of thing, okay? And using not V-Roll. V-Roll makes the videos, but TubeSift. I found the placements for this. All right, let's go take a look at targets, and we'll look at placements. Okay, now, if we take a look at these, I want to show the negative targets too. Just give me a second. Open that up. Okay, there's that one there, and it's probably not showing in here anymore. Hold on a minute. How to stop screwing yourself over. Yeah, because I put it as a negative target. Okay, what I wanted to show you, I might have to go back further than 7 days to show you, but this is all the placements that video is in front of, and you can see the views, the number of views, and then the view rate. And once again, look at the view rate, guys. This is insane. These are really high numbers. Why are they so high? Because it's very, very targeted, right? The first line of the video ad says, eliminate procrastination, or how to stop procrastination, or something, and every one of these videos is about that specifically. Okay, so that's why we're getting the high view rate, and we're getting conversions on this one too. Not that many. We got 8 conversions out of 298 views, but we only spent 9 cents per view. So the cost per conversion is $3.44. That's a little bit higher than I like to pay for an opt-in. But here's the thing, though. If I'm paying $3.44 to get them on my list, and they stay on the list, time will tell, because I've only got 2 emails in the sequence right now. But I continue. If they stay on the list, then they're getting very targeted messages where I can pitch products to them on a regular basis, right? So is it worth spending $3.44 to buy a customer or a potential customer? And in some cases, yeah. I mean, like for stuff that we do for Semantic Mastery, hell yeah. This is a new, a new campaign for me, guys. So only time will tell. I've got to keep refining this campaign, but you know, that's not unreasonable. I would like to get that down though a little bit if possible. Okay. And I need to run some more ads. I've been kind of limited in my time because of the other project, but now I can put more time into this. What I wanted to show you though was this one video right here. I've got it as a negative target now, negative placement. It was in the original list here, but this one in the first few days got an overwhelming number of views and pretty much blew my budget on this one video. And it wasn't, and because of that, I put it as a negative target because I wasn't able to see really stats on the rest of these, like how well these would perform, because all my ad spend was being spent on this one video. So what I did was I took this one video and added it to negative placements, which means don't show my ad in front of this. All right, and then I went back, and this is the one by Mel Robbins. I went back and set up a separate video campaign specifically for that one video. So this is Procrastination by Mel Robbins. Okay, and you can see this one got 1,100 impressions in the last 7 days, 224 views, and spent $19.23 at 9 cents per view. I only got 2 conversions though, so I think I'm probably going to turn this one off because, again, remember I just said this one particular video was eating up all my budget for this campaign. So I extracted it from that campaign and set up a separate campaign for it to test to see if I could get it to convert, so that it wouldn't skew my numbers for the other videos, the other placements. And I wanted to see, and if you can see what the average, the cost per conversion is $9.62. Well, that's more than I'm willing to pay for a subscriber right now until my list becomes profitable, right? I don't want to spend $9.62 for a subscriber. So I'll probably pause this campaign altogether or maybe just eliminate it. But let me click on this and I'll show you. If we go over here, let's go to targets again. You'll see that my placements is just this one video. See that, guys? There's nothing else here. So I've showed it again. It showed up. It had a hell of a lot of impressions. Got 224 views, but out of that, only 2 conversions at $9.62 per conversion. That's too much. You guys, hopefully, you guys get that. All right. I'm learning all this stuff too. You know what I'm saying? So I'm refining, and in this case, this one's not being very successful. So I kind of did the same thing. Let me go ahead and just pause that now. I kind of did the same thing with another one. There was another one. Let's see, goal setting. Goal setting was another broad campaign that I set up. Let's go take a look at this one. You can see I've just decreased my ad spend. I got it down to what, like $2 a day now? Yeah, $2 a day. It was at like $10 a day to start off with the first couple days. Then I dropped it to 5, and now it's down to 2 because it's not producing a whole lot of conversions. This one, if you guys see, 273 views. The view rate's a little bit lower than some of the other campaigns. 16.1 or 16.1%. Average cost per view 10 cents. Last 7 days I spent $27. At 15 clicks and 6 conversions at $4.53 per conversion. Still slightly on the high end, but that's not too bad. This could probably be refined to get a little bit better. How do I refine it? I could probably test a couple different ads, maybe different ad formats or ad templates. Maybe I could change the copy on a couple ads and see if I can get a higher conversion rate from the same targeting. And once again, this was the very broad term, so let me show you what I mean. Let's go back over to targets and placements. And just like the last example I showed you, my numbers were being skewed by one video, one placement. And so the same thing, I showed the negative targets. It looks like I took 2 of them out in this case. Oh yeah, this one was because it was in Hindi, which is a foreign language, and somehow I didn't screen that one out when I created my placement list. So I ended up adding that as a negative target because I don't want my video playing in front of that. Okay, so that one didn't count. But this other one is a goal-setting video it's a TED Talk video. Reggie Rivers, who used to be a Denver Bronco. He was a football player for Denver Broncos. Well, this one video was eating up all my ad spend, and so I wasn't really getting any data on the rest of these videos in this campaign, just like I showed you with the other one, guys. It was a procrastination campaign. This is a goal-setting campaign. So I extracted that video, put it as a negative target. Looks like this one is in a foreign language too. You know what? Let's go ahead and add that to negative targets. I must have missed that one too. So there we go. I just got rid of that one now too. Excuse me. So anyways, I went ahead and extracted that video, and that was Reggie Rivers. And if we go back over to here, all video campaigns, you'll see I have, where is he? Am I not seeing it here? I have him set up on his own campaign as well. Let's go to the next page. Must be on another page. Why am I not seeing it? Mel Robbins. Where the hell is the Reggie Rivers video? I'm not seeing it for some reason. Maybe I already deleted that because it wasn't performing well. Maybe so. But I had, oh, here it is. I'm sorry. I didn't see it. Goal setting Reggie Rivers. So I did the same thing. I put this on its own campaign, guys. And I've got 2 different videos. I'm using 2 different ads to target the same placement. And you can see that this one, once again, is not performing very well. It very well could. It's getting a lot of views. The view rate's not high, but it's getting a lot of views. Like, so my percentages could be better here. But you can see that I'm getting, you know, $7.05 and $7.24 as my conversion. And again, that's high. So my average conversion cost per conversion is $7.10. That's high. Now, I could possibly, by tweaking these ads, get a better rate out of that and lower my cost per conversion. So I'm not willing to give up on this one yet. Remember, the last one I showed you, the procrastination video with Mel Robbins, that one was like $9.82. This one could probably be tweaked to get better results, so I might play with this one a little bit more before giving up on it. So I hope this is useful to you guys because, like I said, the only traffic source that I've got going on right now is YouTube ads to this affiliate campaign. Oh, and so let me just show you. Here I am inside of that Get Response account, guys. This is the one that I just set up for the two affiliate campaigns. Let's look at the last 7. The growth training. This is the one we're working on here. I've had 20 subscribers in the last 7 days. So I mean that's not bad. I mean that's roughly roughly 3 subscribers per day, right? And I mean, I'm not spending much now. I'd spend a little bit more than up front just getting the ad campaign started. But I want to refine these to get this down, my ad spend down, or refine it to where I'm getting more conversions for the same spend. That makes sense. All right. Is there any questions on any of that, Adam?
Sorry, one sec. I was muted. No.
Okay. Okay, so that's it. I've got some more, I want to try to refine. Like I said, I think that one with Reggie Rivers, I'll probably fine-tune that one by changing, testing some different ads. Because remember the placement, let's go back here, the placement is just that one video. So what's nice about that is by having the placement as only one video, then I know that any changes I make are very, any changes I make in headlines or ad copy or video template or anything like that are going to have a change on what I'm seeing here, and I'll be able to measure those results. Like, guys, with ad spends, and I'm not a paid traffic guy, I'm becoming one, but just changing headlines or ad copy can have a significant difference. My conversion rates could, triple if I hit the right combination of words or whatever, or combination of ad copy plus a video template, and my conversion rate could triple, or lower my conversion cost per conversion from $7 down to $2, something like that. And the only way to do it is to test. And so spending a few bucks, like $28 in the last 7 days, and that's a little bit higher than I would have liked to have spent, but I left this campaign running over the weekend instead of tweaking it before that. And so there's a few extra days that it got a lot of extra traffic. Now it's down to, what, $2 a day. So at most I'll spend 14 bucks in a week to fine-tune the ad. Okay? So it takes a little bit of money, but when you find a winner, then you've got something on your hands. And what I mean by that is, if we go back, let's just take a look at this. This has nothing to do with this this particular affiliate case study. But I've got this one. This one's been running since June 22nd of 2015, this ad. And I've got my cost per conversion is roughly, it's almost always between the $1.50 to $2 range. And this goes to a campaign that I set up for keyword research tools. And it's a training, I've got a squeeze page, and people opt in to get the training on keyword research. And then I have a follow-up sequence that sells them on Power Suggest Pro and Peter Drew's Rank Spy keyword tools. You guys, some of you might even be on the list. But the point is this one, this thing's been running since June 22nd, and if we take a look here, you'll see my total subscribers for this is 126, and this I've got Power Suggest Pro is a ClickBank product, And I sell, I make anywhere between, on the low end, $25 a week up to as much as, I've made as much as $125 in a week off this one little affiliate site. And the only traffic I got going in here is I think I have 5 organic videos that I created, and then I've got this one ad. I at first started off with like 5 or 6 ads, but none of them were, I fine-tuned it all down to just this one ad, guys. And this one ad has been running, and it just produces a steady stream of opt-ins. And like I said, I make anywhere between $25 to $125 a week off this site from sales from my follow-up sequence. And my follow-up sequence stops at 5 emails. And that's just my fault because I haven't had time to put, if I spent more time on building up my follow-up sequence and adding more emails into my follow-up sequence, I could probably sell more products. Because these are SEO people, right? They're on the list. They're interested in keyword research. I just haven't had the time. So this one little affiliate, but so that's what I'm saying. This, I got 126 people interested in SEO products on this list. Doesn't seem like a lot, but it's steadily growing without me having to do anything. I just let that ad run. And look at my ad spend on this, by the way, guys. I've got it set at $3 a day, but in the last 7 days, I've only spent $7.63. So that's $1.20, not even. It's $1.10 per day. And it's steadily growing my list. So that's what I'm saying is when you get a campaign dialed in right, then it's just like you just let it go. And for a few bucks, it'll grow your email list. So the next step, let's move out of here for now, and let's go to the next step, which is the emails. Okay, so that's really where the money is made. It's not made in the initial, driving traffic. For example, the product review ad that I just set up that you guys have the YouTube video for that you can watch, and I just showed you the initial stats for that ad for the last 7 days because I set it up, I think, last Wednesday, so it's only been running for 7 days. That's this one here, right? I'm not interested. It's great if I can get some sales from people that are clicking from that and go direct to the product review page and end up clicking the affiliate link and buying. That's fantastic. I'll make a few bucks off each sale. That's great. But what's more important is getting them on the email list, right? Because that's where I can continue to market to them. So let's go take a look at that real quick. We'll say growth.training, and I don't have that workbook open, so hopefully, oh yeah, it'll be though. Be right on the home page. Just a moment. Okay, so this is the Eat That Frog review. This is what I'm sending people directly to from YouTube. Okay, and so you'll see that I got the transcription in there. And by the way, I had the other, what was called a popover before. It was a ClickFunnels thing, but it stopped working, and I don't know why, but it stopped working. ClickFunnels, I think, is having some growing pains right now. So I had to delete that, and I'm using a pop-up plugin now instead, and that's where this pops up. And if somebody clicks on this, all it does is it takes them to my squeeze page. You see what I'm saying? So my point is with this is I'm trying to get the people to come back from my ad to see the review and then possibly click the visit website. This is the affiliate link, or down here at the bottom. And I know I've got to get some images in there. This is like just a wall of text. I just haven't had time. But here's an affiliate link too. So if they click on either one of those, they can actually go purchase the product. But really what I'm looking at is this. I want them to click on this and subscribe to my list. Okay? So now that they're on the list, what I got to do is set up the email sequences. And at the moment, I only have the initial email when somebody opts into my list, which gives them the PDF and the video and the MP3 for the product that I created, which is very short, but it's to the point and it's effective. It's what I've been using for a couple years to accomplish a lot more. And so they get that. But now the first follow-up, and I'll show you the follow-up, is a email promoting that product, but not in a salesy type way, because I'm basically bringing them back to my blog and saying, hey, check out this product review. You opted in for 4 steps to eliminate, procrastination, reach your true potential, blah blah blah. Well, one of the best books I've ever read on it is by Brian Tracy. It's called Eat That Frog. I did a full in-depth review. You can see that right here, and it brings them back to the website. So let's go take a look at that message real quick. Okay, that's this one. All right, so this is it. It's just a short email, but I wrote it, and this is the first follow-up so this goes out on day 2 after somebody opts into the list. You can see it's not salesy. I don't know if you guys can read it or not. I don't know if that's a public URL. Chris, you would know this if Chris is still on. If I paste that in and somebody's not logged in, can they read that?
I'll take a look.
Yeah, I just posted it in the chat. And I was going to say I don't know if you can view that unless you're logged in.
No, you can. No, you can't.
You can't.
No.
Yeah, you can. I just did it.
Can, really?
Yeah, you can.
Okay.
So there you go. Check on that link, guys. Just don't click. Just take a look at the email. It's just a very simple email, but I drafted it. It took me about 10 minutes to write it, and that's what I need to do. That's what I need to focus on now. Is, well, first of all, coming up with more content. So, and you'll see in the next slide, I think, for next week, I've got a couple products that I want to also do some reviews on, but I can also send out emails in the sequence that aren't always about another product, right? So let's say maybe for the next 2 follow-up sequence emails, the next 2 emails in the series, I just give out a tip about something to be more productive, or a motivational tip, something that maybe I come up with on my own, or maybe I quote somebody, but I'm not actually directing them to an affiliate link, whatever. I'm trying to build that rapport, right?
Hey,
But
Brad,
then, go ahead.
Wayne was asking, does Brian Tracy's affiliate program have any vids you can use or edit and test those? And I'm not sure what he was referring to there.
Probably like email swipe files.
Maybe?
I'm assuming that's what he means.
Yeah, I was just passing along since we were kind of talking about it. I just thought I may have missed something. But, Wayne,
No, I
if you can
didn't.
get clarification.
Brian Tracy has an internal affiliate program, but you have to have $2,500 in sales through either Commission Junction or the other one. I can't remember the other platform, right? Share a Sale, I think, before you can become a direct affiliate for them. And probably within their internal affiliate program, they probably do give out swipe files and stuff. But for the Commission Junction and as far as I know, Share a Sale, I haven't signed up to that one, but I'm with using Commission Junction, and no, they just give you banners and links.
Okay.
And that's it. So, I think like some of the internal programs will give you affiliate copy that you can use, but I know that this one through Commission Junction it does not. Okay.
Cool.
But go ahead. You're gonna say something else?
Oh no, I was just saying cool.
Okay. So, anyways, my point is I need to spend, besides just refining the ads a little bit more, which I want to do because I find that interesting, looking at all that data and stuff and targeting and I think it's kind of fun. But besides that, I've got to just make the time to create more emails, guys, because that's where the money's going to be made, is the emails. Okay, is setting up a follow-up sequence, but being genuine and authentic and not being salesy and pitchy about it. That's the whole point. And so as I build this sequence out, should start to see some sales. I do want to continue to review products on this, though, and so that brings me to the next point, and then we'll talk about Twitter briefly. But I've got 2 products. The one that I purchased from Grant Cardone called the 100 Ways to Stay Motivated. I've been listening to that at a little bit, the MP3s, and it's not a great product. I mean, it's okay, like the 100 Ways to Stay Motivated, each one of them, but I'll give it an honest review, and I'll say what I like about it, what I don't like about it when I do it. It was a $200 program, though, and I don't think it's worth it for the $200. And the reason why I say that is because it's like each way to stay motivated, it's like 4 minutes of audio or less per thing, which is okay. It doesn't need to be bloated. Grant Cardone is known to be short and to the point. But I've gotten through, I think, about the first 20. And it's stuff that you've already heard from Grant Cardone if you've ever listened to Grant Cardone stuff in the past. Something that I really like is the 10x rule, which is cheap. It's like $20, and you can download the MP3s for like $15 or something like that. The 10x rule is a product that I absolutely love. And again, Grant Cardone will you either hate him or you love him, and he's just one of those guys, very polarizing. But I happen to really like the 10x rule, and I've talked about that before on here. But that's something that I listened to probably at least 6 times now, from start to finish, because it really helped me to just be more productive and to get off my ass and do stuff. And so I apply the 10x rule, and I listen to it still now to this day occasionally when I feel like I need a kick in the ass, and it did a really good job at that. So I'm going to give that. I originally hadn't planned on doing that, but makes no sense for me not to review that when I think it's such a good product. It's inexpensive, which means I'm not going to make much off of affiliate sales, but it's something that I can write about passionately because it really did have a true effect on me. And so I want to review that. And then I'll also review 100 Ways to Stay Motivated when I finish the product. which I haven't finished yet. I'm not crazy about it, but I'm sure I'll find something that I like about it, and then I'll also explain why I think it's probably overpriced, and I'll still put it on the blog. Because remember, people will still buy even if it's a review that's not a 5-star review. You know, so those are just 2 products that I have in plans to do reviews on. I don't know that this will be done by next week, possibly this one, because I do want to continue building out the email list, and this is something that I can write about very easily from the top of my head because I've listened to it so many times. If that makes sense. Okay. All right. Is there any other questions on that? Because I think we're just about done. I'm going to talk about Twitter for a minute.
We are good.
Okay, good. All right. So let's go take a look at Twitter for a minute. So one of the things that we are learning in RYS Academy, which you guys are probably aware of. If you're not, there's a good chance to go take a look at the sales page. It is one of our most recent product, but Dr. Gary, who's a student of ours, but he
no giving the farm away.
Well, I'm not giving the farm away. I'm saying in RYS Academy, we're learning about SEO using Twitter for just driving traffic and SEO and everything else. And in fact, we're going to be coming out in the next few weeks with a Twitter SEO Academy program that's going to be an entire course on how to use Twitter for SEO. And I am learning so much about Twitter right now because of Marco and Gary. And so I wanted to apply some of that stuff to this affiliate campaign. Why? Because success, motivation, personal development, those kind of like hashtags and those there's a huge audience for that on Twitter. Like, I'm sure all of you that have ever spent any time on Twitter at all, even if you're not a user of Twitter, which I have not been up until the last week or so, I'm sure you guys have all seen motivational quote pictures and stuff will come across Twitter like all the time. I mean, that shit is shared like you wouldn't believe. So there is a ton of traffic to be had on Twitter, and it's free traffic, guys, as long as you know how to use it. Well, I never knew how to use Twitter. I never wanted to use Twitter until now, because of what I've been learning in the RYS Academy. Remember, I didn't have anything to do with that other than help sell it. And now I've been on the webinars. I'm learning too, to be honest with you. And I find this Twitter stuff absolutely fascinating now. So I've been applying some of that stuff, that training, to my Twitter profile, which was still in the sandbox the other day, and it may still be right now. I have to see. But my point is there's some IFTTT recipes, guys, that you can set up, that you can automate some of your Twitter stuff for you. And so, you know, right now I just started setting this up within the last couple days, so there's nothing, like I don't have anything to report on yet. But as I continue to build out Twitter profiles for my other projects that I'm doing for RYS Academy, I'll probably apply some of that to here and then share with you guys what I can without getting in trouble by Marco. So I just wanted to share that with you guys. Like, I think if you're not already using Twitter in your marketing, especially for affiliate stuff, I think it's probably something that you should learn. And when we come out with with Twitter SEO Academy, and how soon is that coming out, Marco? When are we launching that?
We're hoping to have it before the end of the month.
Okay. It's going to be inexpensive. I think it's 147 is what we're going to price it at. Is that correct?
It's somewhere around there, between 100 and 150 will be the pricing point.
So it'll be inexpensive. If you're a Mastermind member, you'll get it included with your membership. If you're not a Mastermind member, you can buy it separately. But it's going to be a product where we're going to talk about how to use Twitter for SEO, and some of these automation recipes within IFTTT are going to be included. And as like I said, guys, as we continue on this affiliate case study over the next few weeks, I'll be incorporating more Twitter stuff into it as I continue to learn it, because right now it's still new to me. I'm still trying to wrap my head around on some of this ninja stuff that I've been learning, and I'll be able to share some of it with you guys through this campaign. So, all right. So that said, I think we're pretty much wrapped up. Do we have any questions?
We had one I missed earlier from Keith, and he was just saying, are you running a posting schedule on the local site, or are you just posting as your VA does the work, and will you only add curated content from now on?
Yes. Yeah, because all I will add is curated content as blog posts, unless, of course, I'm adding additional pages to target other areas. Like, for example, if the guy wanted to, if the contractor decides he wanted to go into, like, Manassas or, you know, one of the other neighboring areas, I would either build a new subdomain and target the city that way with pages, static content pages, or I would just add additional blog posts and new categories that are, city-specific categories. Haven't decided yet. We haven't got to that bridge yet. But as far as adding content for the existing site, the way that it is, yeah, probably just curated blog posts, because that's the only type of content I add. I build the pages. Once the pages are built, we use, and I think all of us at Semantic Mastery use curated content for everything else. Okay. And by the way, as far as the scheduling, yeah, it was just whenever she could get to it. I prefer to have a consistent blog posting schedule for my sites, but she's a new mom. She's got a baby, and so honestly, I wasn't pushing her. Just whenever she could get to it. So, case by case.
All right.
Anything
Sounds
else?
good. That is it.
Cool. We're right on time then. Awesome. All right, guys. Well, hey, everybody, thanks for being here. I hope you got a lot out of that. I got a lot in store for this affiliate case study, and now that pretty much the local case study is off of my shoulders for this, I've got a little tiny bit of work left to do with it, but for the most part, it's done. I can really focus some time on this, and we can push this forward and start making some money with it. So, okay.
Sounds good.
Clint, this is pay no attention to the man behind the curtain. So, all right, guys, we'll see everybody else next week. Thanks for being here.
Have a good one.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.